Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the RngCast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining us today are...
It's the main man, the businessman 24. What's going on, everybody?
This is your boy Raven.
And our guest Duba will possibly be coming in, but he's been living that rock star life, and he messaged me last night and said he needs some sleep. And I am not a terrible person, contrary to popular belief, so I let him sleep, and if he gets up and messages me, we will call him in. If not, it's just us three, OG style. How's it going today, guys?
Good. Can't complain. How are you?
Can't complain. A little sore doing P90X now. Raven, how you doing, man?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Oh my god.
Did you have that in the clip the whole time? It's been 39 weeks and you've never done that voice.
That's great.
Gotta keep you all on your toes, man.
So we have some stuff to talk about. We have some stream hype, some discussions to have. I think Biz and I are going to have a discussion. Raven will jump in with numbers, I'm sure. First off, this week's map on Trials is Firebase Delphi. As we all know, the Horseshoe is probably going to be the hot spot.
It is.
It always is.
That's probably true. It always is.
It is on every playlist, right?
Pretty much.
And Domination and Clash and Trials and everything. It's just that Horseshoe is just a hot spot. So I'm going to say play outside.
Yeah, Horseshoe, map room.
Mm-hmm.
Things tend to center in those areas.
Which is fun.
There's the only bad thing about that map because no matter what, like action centers, pretty much ultimately in map room.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where everything meets, and it's just weird.
Yeah. Biz, have you played a Trials card yet this week?
I played two last night, and I hated absolutely every minute of it. Because everybody's getting in their Stormcaller fixin' right now. And their Matador fixin' right now. It's like, oh shit, I gotta do it this week because next week's gonna be totally different.
Yeah, it's we're gonna talk about that. Perfect segue. We're gonna talk about it right now. Bungie had a stream Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
it was a stream,
and
it had Deej, of course, and two of the sandbox designers. Their name escapes me. I didn't write them down.
Not important.
Two new people, actually. I mean, I don't know how new they are for the company, but two people we have not actually heard from before.
Yeah, and
that I know of.
I mean, it was a good stream. I found it enjoyable. They didn't say anything wrong or anything right. They just kind of...
They really didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true. Which is the way to go with the community at this moment being so aggressive.
I think I made mention before that they've spoke on exactly what they needed to touch on and nothing more.
Right.
Which is kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a conversation about the changes that they outlined. There's going to be more, I'm sure, but they just kind of wanted to give a little info, give everybody something to talk about, some fat to chew on, and we'll start with hand cannons. First change is it's going to be the insanely good initial accuracy, i.e. year one style initial accuracy.
From what they've said, 100% first shot's gonna hit wherever you're pointing that cursor. Now from what they were talking about, the in bloom is still going to be there, but it's starting like drastically more narrow than what it does now. So that's a thankful thing.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot of headshots. Aim for the head. I can see the Hawk Moon coming in.
Hawk Moon?
Yeah.
Hawk Moon still has their own issues.
Come back in.
Well, Hawk Moon still has their own issues.
Well, I mean, with the initial accuracy change that's going to... hand cannons won't need... You'll still want it, but it won't 100% need range anymore.
Everybody pull out your palindromes and Eos Lunas, boys.
Oh, for certain.
You don't need Hawk Moon.
You don't. I'm just saying, you can actually... Other hand cannons will be usable as long as you actually pace your shots a little bit. all hand cannons will actually be usable now with this simple change. Now, not all hand cannons will be easily used, and hand cannons with max range will still be better to use because that same dev had actually went on Twitter very shortly after, and someone commented on like shot pacing.
Yeah.
And the dev had what was it he said? By the way, he made mention to pay attention to the range stat to get the shot pacing in. And just from that and the changes that they've made to the damage fall off, the fact that that hand cannons will actually do less damage than they used to. I forget the number they stated that the hand cannons actually fall off to now, but it's like there's a minimum now, but that minimum won't exist, and there will be a new minimum once these changes come in. So you'll definitely want still to focus on range.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked on the demonstration on the stream, the guy was hitting from insanely long distances. Not even damn near, scout rifle distances at that point.
Yeah, but the damage was pitiful.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just showed that, look, you can still hit the target. You'll be a damn fool for trying. Yeah. I mean, if somebody's really bold, I guess they can go with the first curse, right? That max impact, slower fire rate, higher accuracy type of gun. But let's be for real. Nobody's going to challenge a pound. You're not going to challenge in that distance. You're probably going to pull out your sniper at that point. But I thought it was very interesting as far as like them showcase, and that I also thought it was interesting how they showcase the last word. Because I look at the last word as an entirely different gun in this entirely different class, and I don't know about you guys, but since I use it a lot, I was kind of bothered at how they used it during the stream. They treated it as if it was like a palindrome, which I don't know if you guys would agree with me. That's not the best way you would use the last word. I understand that, rapid firing, you need to pace your shots, but the last word is a little different of a beast.
Sure.
He says sure.
We all know we all know my love-hate relationship with the last word.
They didn't use it the way it should be used. It was weird.
And they love it. So, I mean, we're okay with that.
I mean, Des, did you notice that too?
What, the fact that he was pacing his shots or not?
Yeah, they were pacing it super slow with the last word. I'm like, that's not how you use the damn gun. I mean,
but right now, that's how you use the gun. If you want to use it at any kind of range, you pace your shot. If you get up close, then... I mean, the way they demonstrated it was a very basic level practical use of the last word.
I mean, I guess. There was some instances where the guys were kind of closer and they were just pow, pow, pow. I'm like, no, man, fire that damn thing off. I'm not saying use the auto fire feature, but, you can tap, 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 tap and still get the kill. And then I watched him die with the last one in his hand. I'm like, at that close of a range, buddy, unless he was like, crushing you with a shotgun, which, we'll talk about that in a minute, shouldn't be done like that. And so it kind of bothered me. And I was like, okay, I guess you're just trying to prove your point, but I wouldn't use the last word like that. But that's just my personal feeling.
They also, I might as well cover all of the changes before we start talking about hand cannons and stuff. They reduced the base range by 5 meters. They reduced
by
5 meters.
Yeah, not meters, just 5.
Just by 5. Okay, sorry.
The number stat.
I thought it was 5 meters. My bad.
I think it's 5. I don't remember them mentioning meters.
I assume when they said 5 because they usually use meters and things, but it might be 5 points, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They reduced the aim assist, i.e. the magnetism. It will feel less sticky, and they did the big damage fall off, which we have just talked about. Being at a distance you can hit, but it's not going to do much. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing Hawk Moon a lot more. You're going to always see the Palindrome, the Ice Luna, and the what's the other one that everybody's using?
Lord High Fixer, the last word, obviously. You're
going to see a lot more variety, which is what, in essence, I'm okay. That's what I would like to see. That's what my whole
Thorn actually has a chance to uprise now with those changes.
Yeah, with the initial accuracy being higher and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but and that's where I think I'm gonna disagree with you there. I don't know what rod you're gonna see. All the ones you listed outside of Thorn are in the same archetype class, so you're gonna see them more or less the same amount. People use the palindrome because the vendor roll is pretty damn good. So unless you got like an IS Luna with Luck in the Chamber or Lord High Fixer with one of those, top tier perks, I mean, it's going to be the palindrome. I don't think anything's going to change on that front. They're still going to use that. You might have people try to play with the Hawk Moon, but again, I think that if you have any of those three, mentioned guns that we talked about, you're going to be just fine. You're not going to use that exotic slot for a primary.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ill Will. Hits like a truck. Use it to pace your shots from a distance.
Yeah, but that reload speed is ass, and the magazine size is poor at best.
Well, with the right perks, I think it might be.
Lingering song. No. You keep wanting to make the ill will a thing. The ill will is not a thing.
It's a thing.
No. Yeah, it's infusion fuel is the thing it is.
Well, it's a thing, though.
Not a thing you actually want to pull out.
The lingering song, yeah, for sure. It's
a better option than the ill will. The ill will is just ill, and not in the good way.
It's ill, not like
nasty.
Exactly.
Not good, like
Not
it's
the good
sick,
ill.
like it has fucking polio.
Bird flu.
Whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. It's still a fucking sickness. It's in an iron lung.
It's one in one.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the auto rifles. Auto rifles. This is in quotes. Will be better in every way, and they increased the in-air accuracy for all weapon types now. It won't be. They say that it won't be as good as how hand cannons are because that's hand cannon shtick. But everything's in-air accuracy will be a little bit better.
Hey, Buster, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
You're an auto rifle guy.
absolutely.
You're going to be jumping and shooting?
Never in your life.
Okay. That was utterly pointless.
If I jump, I'm gonna fucking hip fire.
No, why is it pointless?
It's not pointless. I mean, it has. It has its
No,
style.
I asked the auto rifle guy because he is the auto rifle guy, and if you like,
No,
I've
I'm
always-
asking why the in-air accuracy thing is pointless.
because you're not. This is me speaking, and please, if anybody disagrees with me, tweet me. All right, get at me. The only guns that are really viable in the air are hand cannons because that's just their thing. I do not see you pumping shots in somebody while you're in the air unless you're running an Empyrean Bellicose or Angel of Light as a Sunsinger. And even then, I'm sure you're still not doing that. Some guns, and I had this conversation with, Burning Wing, about inaccuracy because he was talking about scouts. And I'm like, dude, that's just not what you're going to do unless you have something that's suspending you in the air. And at that point, you're just a sitting fucking duck. Like, those guns are not as viable in air as a hand cannon is. Just being honest.
No, right now they aren't. But what if they were? What would be wrong with that? Why is it pointless?
I didn't say it would be wrong. I just
You
think
said it was pointless.
it is pointless because nobody
Why?
does.
Well,
Because
right-
nobody shoots guns like that.
Well, right now it's
outside of
pointless.
Cannons.
We don't know how it's gonna be. Like we don't know how much they're gonna buff the in-air accuracy. Like if you have a hip fire, if you have the hip fire roll on an auto, if you're jumping in the air and just spraying, it might be a viable option. But at this moment in time, we know better.
But with auto rifles, I mean, I hate to say focus fire, but that's essentially what you have to do, right? You got to land a bunch of shots into one body, right? And depending on how the engagement goes, you cannot be missed. You cannot afford to miss shots because you can end up being dead. That's just how I see it. So, I mean, I can see an engagement where you're in the air jumping down and you're spraying some fool, and he's spraying you up top. He's gonna have a better advantage because you have a steady drop, right? And so you're basically, and he could be strafing left and right, and you're basically got to go while you're in the air. It's just harder to control that, with an auto rifle than it's like a hand cannon. At least you get an aim, shoot. Auto rifle, you kind of got to like adjust yourself as you're falling down, and he's looking up you like, okay, you're going down straight. You're not moving left and right. He has the advantage.
Okay. In that situation, you're dumb anyway. Because if you're going to be in the air, your opponent does not need to know where you are. Because that's one of the points of vertical place and vertical play. is to be where your opponent isn't expecting you. But if every weapon can take, I mean, that's one reason why you'll see like these top 1% people using hand cannons is because it can take advantage of vertical play. Right. And that's one reason for the element of surprise. Again, right. The person, if you're being looked at, it doesn't matter what weapon is in your hand. If they see you in the air, yes, you're automatically at a disadvantage, even if you have a hand cannon in your hand. It doesn't matter.
But I feel like the likelihood of you dying with a hand cannon hand versus any other weapon is less. I'm not saying it's impossible because of the mechanics of hand cannons, because of how they shoot. You can control the shots of a hand cannon much better in the air than you can any other gun. At least this is my experience. Like, trying to shoot anything else outside of a hand cannon in the air, it feels awful to me. And just, like I said, I'm talking from personal experience. Someone can tell me tomorrow, dude, I'm a wizard at shooting people in the air with a scout. Okay. God bless you.
Yeah, but again, this is a program. This is something that Bungie has had for hand cannons, yes, but it's like you're utterly against any other weapon possibly being viable in air.
It's not that I'm against it. I feel like, there are other things that they could have done outside of inaccuracy to, I guess, make weapons better. And so I feel like, okay, no one's ever complained about inaccuracy. At least I haven't complained about inaccuracy on scout rifles or on auto rifles because I'm not shooting that shit in the air. I mean, can someone tell me if they fire auto rifles or scouts in the air and said, I wish this had a little bit more inaccuracy? Don't worry.
But again,
I'll wait.
Why not?
I mean, look, you're going to do it, fine. But again,
I'm seeing why not. I mean, you're like completely, shooting in the air is a hand cannon thing. But this is a thing that they're changing. Mm-hmm. And you're completely against it because hand cannons shoot in the air. Blah. I know, because I remember the day one patch for Destiny, that was one of the first things they changed in the day one patch for Destiny was increasing in-air accuracy for hand cannons. They never took it away.
Mm-hmm.
But now, again, other things can actually have a thing.
Well, you know what? Let them have a thing.
And, what's the harm?
And Non-Pig stated Angel of Light and Imperial Bells. Yeah, I mentioned that before. But again, I feel like you're going to be a sitting fucking duck. Especially you guys. If you're playing like, I don't know, a 3v3, 6v6, somebody got a sniper, you're basically just a sitting duck. I mean, like I said, more power to you. If you can do it, you can do it. I just don't see that being. I guess I don't welcome that particular change because I don't see it being as effective, but I'll be proven wrong and I'll be okay with that.
Well, it might be, like to echo what Raven's saying, we don't play it like that now, but when the change happens, it might be a very viable option to, like I suggested, maybe hip fire. If somebody's coming at you, you could hop up and, spray as you're making negative space as opposed to backpedaling. Could be something you could do just so you could stagger their shots, make it a little bit harder of a target, a slight picture for them to hit. For the changes, they're going to increase the base damage for low rate of fire archetypes. Deej actually mentioned
minimal
my baby.
At best.
Yeah, it's not going to be
minimal at best. The body shot number has only been because actually went in and saw Genesis Chain. That body shot number is only an increase by 1 damage point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a great change.
And there's going to be a small damage increase for the high rate of fires. So, I mean, they're not going to...
There's no singular damage increase. They are increasing precision damage modifier by 0.05%.
Thank you.
Which will give higher rate of fires maybe a slightly better time to kill. Maybe, but they're still not giving back... They're still not quite giving back the punch that they took off of the Doctrine archetype.
They took a punch off, didn't they?
Holy.
We remember that.
Just enough.
How angry I was that episode. Throwing the book at them. Moving on to the pulse rifles, which is the big daddy of all of them that everybody was mad about. They reduced the rate of fire. I'm going to cover all of them, and then we can talk about it, all the changes. That way, it's not one, then talk, and then the rest of them. They reduced the rate of fire for the high. They reduced the rate of fire for the highest rate of fire archetype by 7.7%. Is that number correct, Raven?
I think so.
Okay.
Sounds familiar.
They reduced the base flinch. The lowest rate of fire pulse rifles have a DPS boost, and of course they have a in-air accuracy increase. And high caliber rounds has been slightly nerfed, and it's to bring it even with every other weapon type. Now we can go.
Well, yeah, the change to high calibers is they reduced it for pulse rifles, but they fixed it for apparently other weapon types, most notably apparently hand cannons and scouts. We're not seeing the benefit from high caliber rounds, so that's apparently being fixed. But yeah, I think their exact words on the stream was that they've reduced the grasp and lock archetype. They basically added a 1 frame delay to the fire rate.
So that would be the grasp, the waltz, and the
Clever Dragon. Yeah, that's 1/30th of a second. Just to let you know that they've added to that fire rate.
Yeah. Blink. Actually, think about blinking, and that's how long it takes.
But at the same time, it still might hurt the time to kill. But it's still going to be a competitive choice because at PDX 45, the next archetype down, is still a competitive choice. I'm just waiting for the day when Grasp and PDX just get merged in archetypes and they just go ahead and say screw it. What was it?
For the low rate of fires, that's Spare Change, the Parthenon.
The Udmila Parthian Shot. A 5.3% increase in rate of fire, I believe they said. But
does Biz know he's muted?
I couldn't tell. I don't know. But I couldn't tell the speed. But I gotta say those those 2 burst kills that they were doing on everyone at point blank range with the spare change,
so good,
kind of sick. Oh my god!
And I think it was Willis who asked what that weapon was. I didn't see him change because I was cooking, but thankfully you came right in and like, it's the spare change. You can tell by the sight picture, the sight box.
Oh no, I could tell by that recoil because that recoil is about garbage.
Yeah. That's
that freaking sharp freaking left hand turn that goes into. Good God, yes.
Back
it's almost a 90-degree angle. Jesus.
Yeah. And I mean, the way I look at it with the high cal rounds, pulse rifles were here, everything else is here. They brought it to here, so they brought everything up and then brought pulses down. So it's not that much of a change.
Pulses definitely won't because, like they said, base flinch for all pulse rifles is lowered. High caliber rounds isn't as much, so pulses will not be very difficult or as difficult to fight against with pulse rifles.
Is everybody else seeing Biz have like a fucking small conflict of himself? Like he's thinking about the pulse rifle changes and this.
I don't know.
Is he talking to the missus or is he muted? He's muted for sure.
Oh yeah, he's muted for sure. But
yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he was talking to his fiance.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoy pulses. They're fun to play with.
It's like I said before. They've been sitting in the meta for a very long time right now. That's also because inherently they're like lowest risk reward. They don't have a very high precision modifier, but at the same time they don't have a very. It's not as messy when you miss. I mean, with a hand cannon, you miss a headshot, things can get messy. Scout rifle. Assuredly, things can get messy if you miss a headshot. But for pulses, they're good, like middle of the road weapon to use.
And just real quick, they didn't mention fusions, they didn't mention scouts, they didn't mention snipers. They mentioned
machine guns, rocket launchers,
none of that kind of.
They did mention sidearms were not changing.
Yeah, at all. Which I mean, playing with sidearms is fun.
And sidearms are in a good place. I mean,
Yeah, I like the crow's eye personally. The crow's eye is a good one, and the
you would like the worst one, wouldn't
Why?
you?
Why? How's it
Like
the worst
it's
one?
got the worst time to kill. Exactly, the worst time to kill. This crow's eye.
Well, I mean, it's my first one. It's the one I started playing with just to try it out. The
Run yourself through the raid, get a zeal vector, and make yourself happy.
wormwood. Is that the one that everybody's raving about?
That's the Iron Wreath type, so it's a fair one to use.
Okay.
Zeal vector is definitely going to be. It's not the highest rate of fire. Sidearm, it's like the next two highest. But with accurized ballistics, it can drop its time to kill to 0.5 seconds. Which, for those of you that know, that's actually faster than the last word kill. That's faster than a normal trespasser kill.
Yeah, the trespassers are going to be the one that you're going to see a lot of. If you're going to see.
Good sword.
Are you unmuted?
No. I'm here.
We were sitting here watching you have like a conflict, having like a question of just questioning yourself. You want to jump in on the pulse rifle changes, considering you're the pulse rifle guy?
Well, I knew the high caliber thing was coming. Well deserved. I think it was an overused perk. I also believe that, PDX 45 and Hawks are coming back. Especially what they did to the high rate of fire archetypes. I was a little confused as to why they adjusted that when the real problem was more or less high caliber rounds. I don't think that, the Grasp and the Clever Dragon archetype necessarily outclassed the PDX Hawksaw. It was just more preferred, but still people can wreck with both classes. So it was a little shocking that they're going to take that rate of fire down a little bit, but yep, you're going to see PDXs come back out, boys. Hawksaw. If you got that God Roll Hawksaw that Devender sold last season, you're in good hands.
Or if you have a blind perdition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you have a blind perdition of Death, whip it out, use it. It's got snapshots, it's got good stuff.
Yeah, because actually blind perdition, I've actually dumped my God Roll Hawksaw in favor of that blind perdition. Because the stats are very, very similar to it. And if you can deal with a little less range, you can actually run smart drift control and actually use Outlaw on that sucker with the same effect as using Counterbalance.
The only issue I had with blind perdition was the mag size, personally, but
Outlaw.
No, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I've been in engagements where, like, I'm trying to fight multiple fools at the same time, only to miss that not to have that last burst because, oh, shit, I ran out. I had only 3 more shots and this guy had been dead.
Oh, thank you for mentioning magazine size, because we almost actually completely forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
Grasp and Clever are getting magazine size nerfs.
Which, again, let me ask this.
I thought that was only with brace frame. If brace frame's active.
No. They are dropping Clever Dragon's ammunition to 24. That way, when you put on braced frame,
it goes
you
to
only
17.
get 18 shots.
Oh, 18. Okay.
And then, Grasp is going to, 27?
Maybe. It's 3 or 6 shots more, so it might get...
It's 33
21.
right now.
Yeah. It's 33 right now. And that's like... And it has 6 more rounds than Clever does. So, 24? Unless they're feeling, like, really ungenerous.
27?
No, it'd be 24 with braced.
Oh, with braced. Okay, yeah.
I think.
So,
my math could be all kinds of wrong, but that's what I'm sticking to right now.
All this tells me is that high caliber brace frame is not the God roll. Sorry, bud.
No, it really. I mean, especially. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's going to create an actual choice, but at the same time, it's actually going to at least give you kind of a actually, that could be something completely different. By the way, it's a choice. You want that thing to fire like an absolute laser beam, and you don't want to worry about it. You're going to take a hit to a magazine. You're going to lose kill potential. Whereas, again, that's why I really like my Grasp roll.
Me too. Counterbalance, perfect balance, and Army of One.
Oh, dude, I don't even use perfect.
What do you use? Hand
What, counter? What is it? Feeding Frenzy? and hand loaded actually.
Hand loaded. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives it a nice beefy range. I mean, trust me, if I could have had one drop with the stability perk, I probably would have used it. But I didn't, and I do like my hand loaded. So,
life support. I think mine has life support. Life support, hand loaded,
Oh.
and rodeo. Is that the one that, or spray and play? Spray and play is the one when it's empty. It almost reloads. It almost reloads instantly because I have the arms that boost the reload. It's ridiculous. Just I'm ready to go. Which is, like I said, playing with the pulse rifles for that, or the hand cannons, made me, playing with the Mida now, playing with pulses. I'm just dancing around, having fun with everything. Don't dance with one person, dance with all the people at the party. That's what I do. And now we're going to talk about the shotguns, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. So fuck it, let's talk about it, right? First change, they significantly decreased the magnetism and aim assist while firing from the hip. By significant, I mean they took it the fuck off.
pretty much.
It has no stick when you're firing from the hip. You have to aim down sights, motherfuckers.
Yeah, if you want to actually get that stick and get an easier kill, you got to be looking down sights.
They significantly decreased the in-air accuracy, i.e., I guess the term aping was going on when people jump at you and shoot you with a shotgun. I guess. I don't know. I heard people say it. Precision damage is gone. Aim for the body. The only caveat to that is the universal remote and the chaperone still have precision damage because that's an intrinsic part of their playstyle. And they increase the damage in PvE by what?
20%.
20%. Glad
It was 20?
2025.
I wanted to say 20.
I'm sure. I think it was 2020. It was 20 or 25.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there. Either way, I do remember it was basically it's just going to be easier to kill things in PvE because you don't have to worry about going for a headshot. And now it's basically like you're always hitting headshots, full pellets, with a shotgun in PvE. And I think their reasoning for the precision, for taking off precision, was basically an attempt to make kills more... What's the term? I slowed down because I knew I was going to have this term. Consistent, I think. Okay. Because kills with shotguns right now are inconsistent. I mean, even Matador has some inconsistent ranges. But they pretty much put this up to precision, your random amount of precision hits on a pellet. But now, true to word, shotguns will be more persistent. Saying me? That word I still... Whatever.
Persistent?
I know that's the wrong word. Consistent.
Consistent.
Jesus.
It was
Why did I not think of that word?
On
the tip of my tongue. But yeah, consistent. They will be consistent. They will not be as good, but they will be consistent. So there will be new ranges to learn. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Matador will have a range nerf, apparently. Did they say that?
I think they did. It's also 20% in PvE. A 20% damage boost for PvE.
Okay, there's 20%
yeah,
boost.
I just checked the numbers. I think I definitely wrote them down. So,
but of course, at least I definitely see I can almost guarantee, like foreseeing into the future a little bit, that they are going to be nerfing universal remote damage to compensate for the fact that it can still hit precision damage. Yeah. If they don't, we'll see another rise in universal remote, that's for sure.
That's getting nerfed too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm predicting that nerf.
It'll catch a nerf next run around, next go around.
Just as now, like Tuesday, it will catch a nerf. Because they've been really good about, or they've been trying to be good about hitting things before they become too powerful.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Like it will be in the smattering of exotics that get changed, have little changes. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But the good news is Chaperone will still be able to one-hit precision kill someone, so that's actually a good thing.
that's the gun. That's the fucking gun style. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well,
the
I mean-
style of play for it.
Yeah, that's true, but they're still leaving in that capability that that was the only way that Chaperone can one-shot, is it one, precision slope to the head. And they're not taking that away. So that was actually kind of a relieving thing to see them still do.
I mean, I don't usually play with shotguns. I can play with them. It's a nice little change. Fusions are my thing.
Oh, and they're actually removing the movement penalty that they added to one nerf for shotguns however long ago. So even though their kill range is taking a hit, they will be more consistent, and now it's going to be easier to run around with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I didn't expect the shotguns to be nerfed. I thought the snipers would have been buffed.
Well, they didn't say anything, snipers.
Well,
They could.
I know, but you know what? I felt like if something drastic was going to happen, they would have said it. So I'm going to assume that if they do any changes to sniper, it's very minimal at best. But so first of all, I was kind of shocked about the aim assist with hip fire because, like, I guess me personally, I never hip fire with a shotgun unless it's like, oh shit, dang, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't usually hip fire. I'm always aiming down sight, so I think a lot of people do that already. But I think that they mentioned about you having to be flat-footed to use a shotgun. I just thought, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I don't see why jump aim fire shouldn't be a thing. But okay, whatever. They stress being flat-footed, like being on the ground when you're shooting a shotgun. I was just like, I mean, was it that rampant? I thought people mostly slide and shoot versus jump and shoot.
There's a lot of jump shooting.
Oh, a lot.
Oh, a ton.
Again, using vertical space, I mean, it's like a top 1% 101. It's taking advantage of your vertical space.
No, I get it. I guess I've always been more of a. I mean, like I said, I've been killed more with slide and shoot than jump and shoot. So I never thought jumping shoot was that much of an issue.
Oh, I had one amazing Trials play last week with Burning, where I just straight Batman the guy on Pantheon. It was a heavy round.
Mm-hmm.
And I went straight down like main sniper lane. Jumped off from that platform onto the ledge because he was just starting to hit the bridge that led to heavy. I just had my shotgun at the top of his head and pegged him. It felt good because he had no clue.
It felt good.
It felt good.
It felt good.
God.
Felt great.
No, it felt good. Like I said, he's in there. He's focusing on Nigel and Burning that's across the way. And I just come in. You can see the fact that he's just still aimed straight for them and just... All of a sudden, the next thing he sees is a red screen with Des Raven, Matador.
Damn it! God damn it!
Now I'm mad. And
So that was a good thing that came out. But yeah, people might call it aping. I call it Batmaning people. Drop them above.
I'd rather call it Batman.
Helps into
I'd
that
rather
head.
call it Batman. That's from now on. That's what it's called. They're changing the special ammo economy as well. You will start the game with special ammo.
Mm-hmm.
When you die, you will lose it just like heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And special ammo spawns every 60 seconds. So instead of
Which is actually a buff.
Yeah, instead of a minute, it was a minute and a half, right?
I think
45?
first spawn was a minute. No. Actually, I think first spawn was like a minute and a half, and it was, every 3 minutes after that? Something like that?
So now it's every 60 seconds. So it's a buff. I mean, I'm sure.
That is it's a massive change, actually, to go from a few specials around to all of a sudden. That's almost... Do you realize that Mayhem is 30-second specials? So that's almost Mayhem levels of special ammo that's going to be floating around.
So is
and people want to get salt. And I've already seen like salty conversations about this. And it's like ridiculous.
Is Mayhem going to be 15 seconds now?
No, Mayhem will probably still be 30.
Still be 30? Okay.
More than likely. Because I don't... If it's 15...
It'll be fun.
Holy Jesus Christ.
Because I'm pretty sure what everybody's saying is, and I quote, if one person can control all the special, they can kill everybody and no one will get special.
Oh, you mean like it is now? Special denial is a strategy now? Hey, business.
That's my favorite
Yep.
strategy.
Is special denial a strategy now? Or should we ask Converse about that?
It's my
favorite strategy.
I run around and grab every special box that I can. Are you kidding me?
Especially after that 1v1, huh?
Okay. Well, should I talk about the special ammo changes now or later?
1 second. Also, the special, if you pull a special box, the radius for teammates to get special as well went from 100 meters to 75 meters. I remember he said meters. He didn't say just a number.
Yeah, that was definitely an actual range.
So, go ahead, Biz. You're going to let him have it.
All right. So while I understand, them focusing on primaries being king, I don't think that this special ammo change is the step in the right direction. I have a different suggestion for it, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think. So, I feel like, especially like in trials, right now it's every 3 minutes?
Sure.
Right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Every 3 minutes or so. I think they should have made it like increase that number, but then allow you to keep your special. So basically, you don't die and lose your special, because it doesn't necessarily address the issue. Like, yeah, people are still going to use it, but then when they run out, they just run out, and they have to wait a long time until they get the next special crate. Versus you die and shit. Imagine if you kill yourself. I mean, by accident. Like, you missed a jump. Now you lost all your fucking special. And now you're just going to be fucked along Nick style. Because you got nothing to compete against. Especially if your primary game isn't that strong, right? And I'm not saying this to say I'm defending people with poor primary game. I think that, it doesn't necessarily address the issue. I think that if they... look at it as simple economics. Like, supply and demand. If you decrease the supply... then basically people are a lot more selective on how they're using special. They're not running around shooting people up because they know they can get it. So basically what you're going to have now, I think what's going to shift is, all right, I'm going to keep dying in trials because, I'm fighting demands or whatever the case is, and shit, I lost all my special, and now they're going to get special more often. I might as well pull out Invective, Icebreaker that can regen ammo. Okay. And so that takes care of that situation. So if you rely heavily on special, it kind of does, because in essence you're going to camp. You're going to camp for about 15 to 30 seconds to get maybe 1 or 2 bullets in the magazine before you engage in a fight. And trials can already be campy as it is. Yeah. So yeah, you're going to have people farm super and wait on ammo because, of them dying the previous round, not having anything, because they need that special.
And that's different from trials now. How?
Because no one uses an Invective and hardly anybody using an Icebreaker. And so basically you have people, yes, hoarding special, but you're not hoarding it as much as you will now, because when you die, you still have your special. And don't tell me about, sidearm is going to make a play into this. It's really probably not going to, unless you're running NLB. And how many people are running those with sidearm, or are they using NLB shotgun? So, yeah, you might go NLB sidearm, the KJ Hovey style, but I think you're going to see a massive increase in Invectives and in Icebreakers for people who are not confident or comfortable with primary engagements.
Yeah, but it's still not going to actually help.
What do you mean?
Well, think of the time. Invective has 15 seconds to regenerate 4 rounds.
Okay.
Even if you camp, an opposing team that actually sees your strategy, all they have to do is rush.
Okay.
They can reach you in 15 seconds.
They can.
And they can actually catch you off guard. Icebreaker is 8 seconds a shot, last time I read.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 16 seconds for 2 shots. Well, there's 3 people in trials on the other team.
I understand that, but I mean, there are grenades, right? I mean, hell, I wish somebody would try to rush me and you see me camping. I got a scatter grenade for that ass. I got a sticky for that ass. And after that engagement, I'm sure you're not going to be rushing to get me at that point. You're like, oh, shit, this guy's got sticky.
If you're still going to be camping, why not? You have limited resources. They have the advantage when they rush you.
Right. That's if they're
successful. Well, either way, I mean, if you're sitting back camping, you have too many velocity, too many angles to worry about. The people that are rushing are at an advantage because they know how they're approaching you. You don't know exactly how they're approaching you. They could be approaching from a slide. They could be approaching from the air.
That's true, but I feel like...
And they also have grenades. It's not that you're the only one with grenades in this situation. I mean, you can camp all you want. If I throw a suppressor, if I throw a suppressor, your grenades are moot. I can just.
I mean that, and I'm not arguing the fact that they are going to see use because they are. Because every time they change special ammo, invective, icebreaker always come back. So that's going to happen. I'm not arguing that. I'm just arguing it's not going to be as effective. Because again, all the person has to do is, they're using icebreaker. Let's rush them.
I mean, I understand the different angles. I mean, I guess if a Charles team was smart, they're setting up traps, right? So you got your trip mines, then you got your stickies, maybe you got your denial of entry, like grenades. Either way, you can limit some of the ways some of the angles that they can approach you on. I mean, but also too depends on the map, right? I mean, if it's a wide open map, it's a little different to do that bullshit. If it's more a map, let's say, like Bannerfall. I mean, probably not the best example, but with Bannerfall, you can spawn the back. There's basically two ways to get out. You can either go straight up or to the side and around the back. And if you're going around the back, I mean, there's a couple of doors that you worry about. But again, those are areas that you can essentially block off with the type of grenades that you have. So, I mean, you can deny some level of entry to different areas. I mean, look, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is going to be super effective, but I'm saying that that's what you're going to see, I think. And, I think it's going to make trials even slower than what it is because you're going to have those teams that's going to stay in camp. Especially, let's just,
How's it going to be slower than people that are camping? How can you camp more than what's already being camped?
Same arguments for why people are bitching about scories, right? Or something like that.
I'm saying... I mean, people are already abusing the camping strategy for scories, for timeouts, for whatever reason. And you're saying it's going to slow down trials even more. How can you slow down something more than what's already being done?
So you're saying that it's going to be the same level of campiness?
I mean, probably more people will do it, especially those not comfortable in their primary play. But like I said, you can't slow down from what's already slow.
Now, would you guys be surprised to see scories get nerfed a bit?
They won't. They've already made mention that they're not actually touching artifacts this time around. I'm wanting to say I've read some on somebody's Twitter that artifacts are going to be the next patch they're working on, I think. I don't want to be held 100% or quoted on that, but I'm wanting to say I saw that.
You know what's so I have a question. I mean, in all seriousness, I'm asking. I'm not being naive. I'm really asking this question. Like, what is really the problem with scories, though? Like, I mean, you have to. The way it works is you have to get a super in order to bless others to get their super faster. If they're running high intellect already, it decreases the time. But I mean, somebody has to have a super first and have scories on. If you're playing well against another team, then guess what? Chances are they're not going to have a super before you're finished with the match. The only time scories is really a problem is if it's a dragging out dogfight, and then people sit back in camp because one person got their super.
Or a Stormcaller with electrostatic mine. They can have like a 2-minute super with max intellect and 2 people standing around them.
So what, are they going to nerf that too?
Why not?
I mean,
it's like I said, you were talking about with 2 people, like a 2.5-minute super.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
But again, a super around. right? That's a super
No,
round.
no, because okay. What's the highest intellect right now? 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Cooldown.
Either way, like I said, with Scories, it's like 2.5 minutes. Or
No. I'm
with
just talking for
just 2.5 minutes.
I'm just talking about for one person. Let's say we have a hunter, a warlock, and a titan walking a bar.
Oh no, yeah, I see what you're saying. For the others, yeah. For I want to say I've seen some that's 4 flat.
It's 4 flat. 4.
It's somewhere around. It's very close to 4, but I can't remember the exact number.
Say Hunter's running Scories, right? Okay, and Hunter is carrying the motherfucking team and got his super by round 2. We're talking trials, okay? All right, so then now he's using Scories. So the Stormcaller is going to get his super the fastest between him and the Titan. But, if Hunter uses set super, I mean, the only person that really affects is a Stormcaller. The Scories really, yes, it benefits everybody, but it mostly benefits a Stormcaller. So again, I ask, I guess if you killed your people in a quick enough fashion, Scories isn't a problem. Until it gets to a 4-on-4 round 9, you're down to the wire, and the motherfucker's camping. That's when Scories is a problem. If one person has super. I mean, people screaming bloody murder about Scories, and I'm like, if you kill them fast enough, Scories is not a problem, right? But I guess, I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of Scories. Or like, I'm not gonna say I'm not a huge fan. I don't use Scories like other people do. I use Yolder, because I hate Sprint Lock. So when people scream about Scories, I'm like, yeah, if you have 3 fucking Stormcallers all walking in the bar together, yeah, Scories is ass. I can see why you'd be mad. But, one person has to get it first. I mean, it's not like, Scories works like Electrostatic Mind, where, I'm sitting with my buddies and nobody has super, but we're all getting super together. Like, no, I don't understand why they complain about Scories, but like I said, maybe it's just me talking.
Oh no, actually, that's pretty much what I said about the special thing as well. I mean, rush them, get rid of them, deal with the problem. That's how we deal with the problem. Deal with the problem.
And trust me, there are aggressive teams that can, get at you, and then the whole camping thing is a moot point. I get it. I mean, I just, I guess if you want to see Icebreaker and Invective wreak havoc again, then by all means. I mean, I guess you'll have diverse specials, but I mean, Scories is I don't see that a huge problem, to be honest. I mean, unless I'm wrong, but I mean. You have to have
definitely don't play Trials enough to say exactly what's
what I'm saying. Like
Trials right now,
I like seriously, like when I play Trials and somebody has Scories on, I only say, okay, stay back for Scories if this is a tight match. If we're getting them long dick style, then I mean, hey, round 4 we up 4-0. No, sorry, round 5 we're up 4-0. Yo, unlock full hell on these motherfuckers. Let's go. I'm not going to sit back and camp for no goddamn Scories. I'm going to use my super and kill you all. I mean, that's just, like I said, Scories is really only, I think Scories is so situational that I still don't understand why people are bitching about it. It's situational. If you're getting into a dogfight, then you're bitching and complaining because you just lost because somebody farmed their super 2 or 3 times a damn round. Get good, bud.
Because welcome to the Destiny community, where the vocals have to have something to complain about.
I mean, Scories is not even a huge fucking deal. Did they fix that? Did they fix the glitch with Fellwinter? There's a Fellwinter glitch, and I've seen this happen to me before with a Sunsinger. If they have Fellwinter equipped in the match, and then they take it off, and then they get their super, then they can actually do the Fireborn super without the animation. So they just like, here I am, bam. That actually happened to me. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Oh, like the year 1 issue, like the year 1 Fireborn glitch. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where you can actually go like Radiant Skin. If you died, you can go into your menu, switch to Fireborn, use Fireborn, not lose your super, switch back to Radiant Skin.
Or the infamous
rinse and repeat.
The multi-arrow glitch. for.
What about Infinite Hammers?
Infinite Hammers.
I mean, yeah, I think that Fellwinter glitch is a little more crazier than Scory's, because you think, okay, he's running, Fellwinter, and then he switches it off, and next you know, he just pops up out of nowhere, but you don't see an animation. You see another man fucking you up. You're like, what the hell just happened? Like, it literally happened to me. I was just like, what just happened? Like, this guy was dead, and he was running Fellwinter. Like, I can't forget that mess.
That's probably gonna see something happen, maybe, but
Sunsinger Boys, Fellwinter, let's go.
Also, in elimination style game modes, you will only spawn in with special ammo during the first round. It's not every round, it's just the first round. Putting that out there. They mentioned a few class changes. For Hungering Blade, for the Blade Dancers, they get a bump in health. It doesn't bring back their shield all the way. It just bumps their health up. I think he said 20 points, right?
I forget it is, but it's a chunk at a time now.
Yeah, it's not like I hit, I'm back in the game. I can get hit, I'm back in the game. Throwing knives for the gunslingers now do solar damage.
Whoop-de-frickin'-do.
I thought
freaking time you did that now. You couldn't do that a year ago when I was doing my exotic sword quest. You couldn't do it then, Bungie?
I honestly thought they did anyway.
When a year ago when they made arc melees, actual arc damage. Oh no, they didn't. Of course they didn't. I know they didn't.
For Jug Titans, the Juggernaut doesn't activate in air anymore.
Like it used to.
Okay. And it doesn't. It takes a little bit longer to activate as well.
They pretty much changed the changes that they made for Jug and make it free so people would use it. They're not taking that away, basically.
Mm-hmm. And for Stormcallers, they nerfed the melee to make it even with every other melee in that class.
Probably except for when they choose the one that actually extends range, because that will probably still give them 2 extra meters.
Probably. But, I mean, it's not like fusion rifle range anymore.
Which, it won't.
It's fine.
It shouldn't be absolutely stupid anymore. But it will probably
still going to be stupid.
Oh, it's still going to be a little stupid, but it's not going to... Okay, it's going to go from, like, straight idiotic to dumb, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So from dumber to dumb.
Also, Raven, you were right. They mentioned that the Universal Remote will be slightly nerfed. They also are going to update the Shinobu's Vow, the Young Wolf's Howl, Blink, and much, much more. So we will find out next week.
Young Wolf's Howl, because they did. Somebody did mention, like, kind of under breath, that it was going to be cheaper to use. Because, I mean, y'all want to talk about things that they really. Why are you going to make such a subpar ability cost twice as much ammo as any other sword ability?
Right.
What the crap?
Can I ask this question? How many of you guys feel like the changes to the subclass perks were needed outside of the Warlock melee?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hungering Blade was dumb.
I mean...
They're just making it that where... Like I understood, like, the damage reduction nerf that they took that they did from year 2, because Blade Dancers were tanky. And then I understood, like, making it to where every swipe takes more energy, getting rid of using the super as mobility. I understood that. And now is pretty much like I think the last dumb thing that they can take away from Blade Dancer. And if they do anything else to Blade Dancer from this, it's going to be dumb on their part.
I didn't think Hungering Blade that was that much of a damn issue, but I guess
not a huge issue, but
you just made it more squishy.
Yeah, it can be dumb, and primarily, again, it's the fact that Hungering Blade is the only thing to use in PvP. That really makes sense. I mean, you're going to have people that run Shadowjack for the invisibility, but Encore isn't going to make a difference in PvP. I mean, it's marvelous in PvE, but it's not going to make a difference in PvP. The best thing to run in PvP is Hungering Blade, and that's why I took a hit. Regardless of what thing that they've they mentioned on the stream it was the best thing to pick, so it took it.
Again, I never complain about Hungering Blade. Hunters are so fucking squishy already. Like, I feel like they needed something like that so they won't die in their fucking super. But I guess whatever. Just made it easier for me to kill.
You're super smart,
huh?
That's why you use a super smart.
Well,
you don't pop a blade in front of a group of people. You never do that.
Well, that's why I don't run Hunter. I never use Hunter, so it don't matter. I just feel like it I don't know. I didn't see it being a problem, but okay, Bungie. Bungie does Bungie things. Whatever. I guess whatever. And then the jug thing. I mean, holy shit. Okay. And anybody ever complain about jug? Like I feel like jug.
Wait, are you saying you haven't heard the entire community outcry against jug?
No.
Have you completely sheltered yourself to that degree?
I probably
did. Jug is like one of the top complaints. It's even more than Scories. Jug is one of the top complaints, right behind shotgunners.
Do you even Twitter
in PvP?
Do you Twitter Biz?
Do you do anything?
Titanfall.
Do you participate in this Destiny community?
Not anymore.
Apparently. And he's sitting there going, "Who complained about it?" Name anyone playing Destiny, and they have complained about Jug.
I mean,
go ahead. I'll wait.
Yeah, you will. I guess. I mean, whatever. I mean, but Jug in air. I mean, I guess with the tight Twilight Garrison, that's why it was an effective strategy. I was like, okay, whatever. It's fucking Jug Shield. Like, I don't know. I just feel like people need to stop bitching and play the fucking game. If you don't like it, just do something different. Like, you're just bitching about every little thing. It makes no damn sense. Like, and like, mind you, I'm not even a Titan main anymore. I'm like, really? Like I get more scared when I see a fucking Titan leaping in the air than a Jug Shield. I'm like, all right, shit's gonna run out. Keep pumping bullets in it, and then fine, cool. If you got a long distance travel, you'll get the shield down before he can get to you. But unless he's running Twilight Garrison, then he's in your face. But
and then comes the damage mitigation of the super that they activate right after the Jug Shield, or the shotgun that's going to be in your face that's probably going to kill you. Probably. I mean, that's the benefit. That was the benefit of Jug, is the fact that you can use it in the air on the ground. Mm. And it was either our RNG tournament. I think it was actually the Dirt Master Class Cup. To where was it Davis? Or was it?
Probably was Davis.
I can't think of because it was. Yeah, it was actually your team.
Oh.
It was Arrow, it was you, and it was who
Davis.
else?
No,
yeah,
Davis. No. Was it Davis or was it oh God, Maddie? Was it Maddie?
It might have been Maddie. Okay. Yeah, it might have been. It was either Davis is saying not me, so it had to have been Maddie. But either way, someone was using Jug and rushing in, like bolting. We actually Maddie. We had Anomaly as a map. Mm-hmm. And he just wove right through doors, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he has a Jug Shield. We'll just take him out because he's, heading straight for us. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, he's activating super. Oh, well, there's a 3-piece for him. Yay.
Yeah, that was Maddie. I don't use Jug Shield. I've always been a shoulder charge guy.
I mean, to be fair, Maddie used Jug Shield before Jug Shield became an issue.
Cool, yeah.
So,
until people got hit with it.
Yeah, it seemed like after that, like everybody I started seeing it more and more and more and more. It's like the veil was lifted from my eyes, and it's all I could see. And it is a ridiculous thing to have that much mobility as a Titan, and either max armor or you have just complete and utter damage mitigation with a shield in front of you. It's ridiculous. Until you get those some Titans that aren't that smart or aren't that great of aim, and they go right by you. And they're still kind of running, so you just peg them a few times from the back because no damage mitigation from the back.
Yeah. Oh God! If heaven forbid it was a bubble around you and you was a running bubble, holy shit! My God, Bungie, bloody murder!
Fun fact: the Jug the Jug turns off if you hit him with a suppression grenade. Little known fact. Okay, or hit him with a fusion rifle. Turns it off too.
Okay, Buster. Now everybody plays like you.
And it also depends on how many bolts you're hitting them with a fusion rifle.
It's true. Davis does though. Davis plays like I
Yeah,
do.
Davis does, and he actually made mention that there are things that can, if I'm not mistaken, Davis did say that things can go wrong, and it's only conditional at best that it can take down a Jug Shield. And B, when you have a Jug Shield coming at you from a Titan that's already skating,
Yeah.
you can suppress them, but
they're
the shotgun is still going to kill you.
Oh, for sure. They're covering distance.
The shotgun is still.
I'm not arguing that
I
at
just
all.
suppressed him. Blam! I'm dead.
Oh, his
mean-
shotgun. Oh. For sure. I wasn't saying that. It was just.
I mean, you're taking
known
away
fact.
the super play, that's for sure. And if you can suppress a Titan in mid skate, bravo.
Turns it off.
But good God, you're still dying.
You're still going to eat that shotgun.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the tracking for shoulder charge. That was already done. Munch calls it doinking. Munch.
I mean, it's like Biz said. I mean, like I said, I've seen it like way too many times in the community. Like Bungie makes changes, and people get in absolute tirades, absolute uproars. They like completely change face. I actually saw a rant from a friend, just looking at it and going, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is? I mean, it all boils down, sadly, to entitlement. And it's easy to become attached to something you're playing with, something you enjoy. It's very easy.
Oh, yeah.
But the issue is that personal connection is a personal connection. And I've heard it way too many times. Why is Bungie changing my gun? What are they doing to my baby? Guess what? It ain't yours.
It ain't your baby, bitch. Mine, calm the fuck down.
Look,
like I said.
Biz, deep breath.
Why?
Mr. Oh, they changing my Thorn again.
I gave that up, though. I gave that up, and I used other things. And the reason why I complain about Thorn wasn't because I used it. Because I didn't use Thorn. If you played with me, you know I didn't use Thorn like that. I didn't. So I used other things as I complained about Thorn. I just didn't see. I didn't agree and see eye to eye with what Bungie was doing. But it wasn't that, oh, well, now I have to use something else. I've always used something else. Like, if anything, Mida was more like, okay, that was my gun. You took away high caliber rounds. That was more like my gripe. And even then, I still use Mida. Still use it.
There's nothing changed about it.
High
they
caliber
took
rounds.
enough high caliber rounds, but it still performs.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
That's
I
why
love
I
the
thought everyone was really silly about complaining about Mida. Because
you want to
it
challenge
doesn't
snipers.
challenge. I mean, if the sniper's bad, you can still challenge him. I mean, I'm sorry, but if the sniper's bad, you can challenge him with anything. I've challenged snipers with hand cannons. That's how I know it's a bad sniper. That's how I don't have to worry about peeking. If I go and put a shot off and my head gets taken off, I avoid sniper lanes. If I can kill you with a hand cannon, I'm challenging you every time I see that red light. Because you suck if I can kill you with a hand cannon.
Yeah, you suck. You really do suck.
I mean, that's how it boils down. I will always challenge a sniper my first run around just to see if I can get away with it. If I can get away with it, I will.
Relentlessly.
All the time, man. Every day. But yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's a tragic thing because, like I said, it's just over attachment, and it's just so sad to see it. It reminds me, if anyone's familiar with Misery,
Can't say I am.
the Stephen King novel / film,
Yeah.
where a chick breaks dudes' ankles on,
Kathy Bates.
like, ties them to a bank. Yeah. Breaks a guy's ankles. Well, the actual story of that novel is that she is really into this author. That author has become stranded in her home. Now, again, this is like her favorite author of all time. But that author made a mistake in killing her favorite character. So all of a sudden, she has her favorite author in her home. And so she demands him to write another book where her character comes back. That's when she ties him to the bed. That's when she breaks his ankles. She tortures him to get the change that she wants.
That's a crazy bitch. I needs a husband.
This is our gaming community. This is where things are heading, and it's ridiculous.
Tell D to watch his back. Somebody's doing bad. Oh my God! What did you do to Stormcallers? Holy fucking shit!
I mean, yeah, this is a ridiculousness that just. I mean, you see devs get threatened.
That's crazy.
And it's utter ridiculousness. Because, I'm sorry, let's say you paid for like a Van Gogh painting, and all of a sudden you demanded that every Van Gogh painting be in black and white because that's how you like it. You're going to get laughed at.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our main man, the highest guest, the most returning guest, the guest with the most appearances.
3P, baby.
3P. Ladies and gentlemen, Duba.
What up, what up, what up? How you guys doing today?
Man?
Duba.
What's going on?
We were just talking about the patch notes, the little preview that we got.
Okay,
You
okay.
just want to give us your quick little
entitlement?
rundown of what you think about it before we move on to the memory lane topic.
Okay. I'm excited to check out hand cannons for sure. I was kind of, I don't know. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about that nerf to the aerial shotgun action, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna try to adapt and play in the new meta, kind of deal with it, get back into my love for hand cannons, jump up and down with the hand cannons instead. See how that goes. But yeah, man. And then auto rifles too. I'm kind of excited to try those out again because I know they're buffing those pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, I think those were the highlights for me.
Well, that's also pretty much everything that they said.
The man's quick to the
Exactly.
point. The man's quick to the point and well rested. He's ready to go.
I was hoping for like an exact rundown. I was hoping for some more numbers. I was hoping for something more than usage graphs, but that's all the graphs they had was usage. I can go to DTR right now and check out like Destiny Trials reports and check out graphs there and see like PvP rankings and crap for every weapon because DestinyTracker.com is an amazing site to use for all your skill tracking needs.
That's what we call a seamless name drop, a seamless plug. Perfect. Real quick, Duba, the exotic weapon, the exotic armor wrap is the perfect sequel to the exotic weapon wrap. It was great. Fuck the haters. They just couldn't. The people who said it didn't make sense, they just couldn't keep up with you lyrically. You went to like deep drops. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, the soul was still there. I mean, it was very magnificently a sequel, but I can only imagine like how many hairs you're missing from pulling them out from trying to get some of those like puns and crap to work because, oh my god! I mean, you did masterful wordplay again, and
Thank you.
like I said, I can just listen to it and imagine it's like, I wonder how many clumps of hair he has just sitting like lying around.
How many word plays can you use for Saint 14? That's a very hard one to do. Like you did it, I was like, that's really hard.
Dude, you know what was the hardest though? There are I think 7 or 8 different armor pieces that have Aham Kara in it. So you have to say Aham Kara 8 times in the same song and not make it super redundant and repetitive.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I fit it in over here and over there?
That skull
try to mix it up.
Hamkara, sealed Hamkara grasp, Hamkara spine. Oh my god!
I'm surprised you didn't say I said Aham Kara again.
I know. I probably should have thrown something in there about that, but
yeah, it was wonderful, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you guys.
Was this harder to do than the exotic weapon?
I think so, honestly, because there was at least 9 more, and then because they have such weird names that don't really barely any of them rhyme with each other. There's 4 or 5 that rhyme with each other or something.
Yeah,
and the other ones you just have to figure out.
You worked in a good way for a astrocyte verse, and I commend you for that. Because that was one of those. It's what? I mean, it's like Alchemist Raiment that could work, but astrocyte verse? What? Yeah, that was. Like I said, there's just certain ones that I could see pop up. And it's just
Yeah, like, what the heck? What the heck do you do with that? Yeah.
The MK44 stand-asides. It's like, yeah, they're Mark 44, but who wants to say Mark? You rhyme and say Mark 44. MK is easier to say. It just makes it, you could rhyme that right there. MK is easier to say. So, I mean, dude, just get off his back. The man puts in work. You make content every day. You do a Zer rap. I dare you. I'll wait.
I don't know, right?
Since you know you're the most returning guest, you know the deal with the memory lane. What's your number, Duba?
Oh boy.
Probably 20, because how many hours you have to use to write that damn song?
Let's go with that. Maybe 22.
22. Biz, what's yours?
40.
Des?
68.
I'm going to go 81. 61 is the number. So Biz, memory lane. Biz has been on fire recently.
God damn it! I still can't win the lottery. I guess in the spirit of changes, can we discuss a weapons change, an armor change, a subclass change that has impacted you the most, whether it be positive or negative?
Oh yeah, when they actually added the bloom to hand cannons. Because I tell you what, that change that they made when they made accuracy such a thing with hand cannons, I've still used hand cannons. Because I was that guy after House of Wolves. I was still running around in PvP with my Shadow Price every once in a while just to be that guy.
You're that guy.
So I have stood by hand cannons since beta. And that's like no exaggeration. Like, I've loved them, and they were garbage in beta. Let me tell you what. The only time that they've matched that uselessness was after they added the bloom, and they were basically back to being that useless.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, in release, like, hand cannons were great, and they felt good for so long, and then that happened. So, yeah, that affected me. Piece of hand cannons.
Buster, Duba, what about you guys?
The high rate of fire nerf for auto rifles.
Doctrine!
Yeah. Did you need to? I'm pretty sure the chat was like, "Oh, Buster's going to say when Doctrine got nerfed." So yeah, Doctrine.
I thought you were going to say when they buffed Defenders. I thought you were going to say that.
I've been Defender since day one, baby.
Right, but I said positive or negative. So, I mean, I figured, when they buffed Defenders, you were like, yeah! Woo!
I mean, yeah, you're right.
No. When they took your Doctrine and sent it packing.
I'm sure when people saw that, when everybody heard that question, they were like, oh, Buster's going to get bakey. Oh, he's going to bake. No, I'm just going to be honest with you. When they nerfed it, I was like, and I still use it. It doesn't really matter. They can nerf it all they want to. They're just going to add more precision damage now. All right, cool, thanks. I still use auto rifles.
Man, I think the one that I remember most is probably when they nerfed the Sunbros, because I was really enjoying those hammers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
That one hurt. It's funny. I think for me, I could easily say Thorn. I could easily say Mida, but it's actually none of those. This one impacted me so much so that it made me switch my subclass, which means switch my main class, and that was when they reduced the tracking on shoulder charge, because like I said, not a juggy person, can't stand it. I want to kill demands quickly and run away. And when they reduced the tracking, I actually felt the difference, because I would zoom past people. I'm like, what just happened? Bam, Guardian down. I'm like, how did I? What just couldn't compute? And because melees were already ass with Titans. I mean, I like lightning grenades were my thing. I always run double grenades, but it was a shoulder charge, which was what I like, because it allowed me. Because I used to do a move where I would basically Titan skate, then I would run, activate the shoulder charge, slide, and at the last second when the slide animation was finished, activate shoulder charge, which will launch me even further. A lot of people didn't know about doing that. That was my move. And when they reduced the tracking, it kind of fucked me over. And I was like, you know what? Hi, Warlocks. How's it going? I need a melee.
I know one that everybody could probably agree with was when they got rid of the elemental primaries.
Ooh.
So that's
Why
one.
you gotta go there? Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta bring that up, man?
They haven't gotten rid of them. Zalo's still around.
Zalo, just one. It's not like the raids have it.
Just-
That's what I meant.
It still sickens me. Like almost literally sickens me, but I let out a groan every time. It's like someone's like, "Oh, but Zalo's like the best gun ever." It's like
For a week at a time, when the strike playlist is Artburn.
no, it's not the best gun ever. Their Hard Light is better than Zalo.
It is.
Like, dude, like I know what it did to kind of limit people's options or whatever that people would choose, but man, that was such an integral part of the experience early year one, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was so big. I missed that.
Yeah. And I also agree with one of our mods co-founder. If Zalo didn't exist, I'd be fine with no elemental primaries. My only issue right now is Zalo exists.
Yeah, it's a constant reminder.
Yeah,
Man.
It's that
What it
thorn in
once
your
was.
paw, right? It's that splinter under your fingernail. You're like,
I mean, that
get this
and-
out.
to
Yeah.
run a strike effectively on Arcburn, you got to run Zalo.
Mm.
You got. I mean, unless you don't want to worry about being effective, but you know me.
I'd rather be effective than effective, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the anti-assault mine, which is I've been waiting for this episode for about a month now, guys. You guys know,
But
but
about
I'm
to bust himself.
I'm about to drop I'm about to drop a bomb on everybody. First off, at Justin Sua, follow him. The man's motivating. The anti-assault mine is little by little, a little becomes a lot. I think that was fitting. You know,
Yeah.
little steps become big steps, become strides. Don't let anything stop
Also,
you.
try to apply that to Bungie as well. They may make small steps, but they go somewhere. Maybe it's not always the right place, but they go somewhere.
Well, as long as you put it, it may not be the right place. That's what
Yeah,
matters.
it may not be. I mean, they're human. I mean,
Are
I dare
they?
anyone say they do their job perfectly.
I thought they were
Say it.
exos.
Say it.
They what? They do what?
Say it.
Do what?
Say it.
Nobody
Exactly.
does shit perfectly.
No
Exactly.
one's perfect. There's
Nobody
no-
does
Yeah,
shit.
everyone wants Bungie to make the perfect moves when it comes to patches.
Mm.
I don't think it's about the perfect moves. I think it's just about going in the right direction, more or less. I
Who are
mean,
you to say what the right direction is?
I'm just the main man.
And
I mean,
unless you're like a Bungie shareholder, I mean,
nah, you don't want me to
Same.
do that. You don't want me to be a Bungie shareholder. That'd be the worst move ever.
yeah, it would.
Well,
'cause all of a sudden,
for Bungie,
run to the ground.
I would have run it to the ground. We just got a little bit more content. You know, the people have been speaking. I'd have been a man for the people.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, hey, hire more folks. Let's get this train rolling. Stop hoarding the cash. You know,
Okay. All right.
I'd have been the Black Carl icon. If you don't know who he is, Google him.
But the special announcement is that next week, the 18th of February, we will
Yes.
have none other than Mr. Justin Sua as a guest on this podcast.
Nice.
Amazing. And this is the episode where Buster takes the entire conversation over. Me and Des gonna be like,
Listen, I gave you guys Swain. I gave you Swain because he's a cook. I gave Des fucking Mercules twice. I'm gonna give him twice. He's gonna come back the week
One and
after.
a half. Let's get that straight.
One and a half.
You busted out a half of a podcast.
One and a
Don't even
quarter.
try and
One and a quarter.
Don't even try and count that as a full one.
Hey, he's coming back. I gave it back for you.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
But I just want to drop that.
I'm not
bomb
holding
for
against
everybody.
anyone against anything about that. You know, life gets in the way, but still.
you actually
Don't be trying to count that as a
gave me
whole.
Duba multiple times because I missed him the first
And
time.
Duba multiple times. Yeah, exactly. Because you missed Duba the first time. So fuck
And you
it.
gave me
He's
facts
coming back
next.
every time. He'll be back 7-8 times. I don't give a shit. Duba's always welcome here.
We got to get you to the point where we can do the Booker T 5 time.
5 times. you can be Ric Flair. 14-time RNG guest. I'm gonna make you a fucking championship belt when you get to 14. You're gonna get it in the mail and be like,
The fuck?
It's just gonna be made of cardboard with bedazzle in it. Just Buster worked really hard. Is this blood? Some of it.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, next week we're gonna get.
It's gonna be Buster. It's a Buster and Justin Sewell podcast. We'll just be here looking pretty.
It's gonna be a longer Increase Your Impact podcast for sure. For sure. I mean,
Yeah, for sure. Good God.
What's going to interest me is that he's into sports ball and you're not. So please believe I'm going to drive that conversation. Just so you be like, I don't sports ball.
well,
I want him to say, you don't sports ball. Come on, man.
Well,
I don't sports ball. That's what I want him to say.
he's more of a mental skills type of guy. So, I mean, I've talked to him a few times about things. So,
Hear that, guys? A few times.
know how badass I feel having like fucking super dope contacts in my phone. Feels awesome. So
Like, yeah, I have a mental skills coach.
I have
named Justin Sewell.
I have a mental skills coach, first name basis. Okay, he doesn't.
You're
He
missing
works for the
something.
Boston Red Sox when he's not talking to me, and the Cleveland Browns. But I don't know what teams they are because I don't watch sports. Okay.
You're missing something, Buster.
Oh, pinky up.
Yeah, pinky up.
You guess where that pinky up.
Yeah, shut up, Biz. Pinky up, motherfucker. I'm not even gonna give you the finger no more. No more will I just throw you the finger. I'm just gonna go pinky up from now on. Whenever I go pinky up, it's like. So next week, Justin Sua. You know the questions are gonna. I'm gonna ask for questions, and I hope the revolution comes through.
You're not gonna ask for questions. You're gonna have all the questions for your damn self. What are you talking about? Why are you lying?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh hey, revolution. I'm gonna ask you questions. Bullshit. I got a whole laundry list. I
What?
still didn't ask.
Listen, I got a bunch for Duba. We got a bunch for Duba, so we're ready to go.
Yeah, but you foamed at the mouth when Sue said, "Yeah, I'm coming." Or you was like,
Listen.
"Oh my god!"
Listen, dude. We were waiting for a movie. The story.
I mean, that was-
Here's the story. He texted me and said, "Are you available to talk?" Because he wanted to speak to narrow it down to get everything. I said,
He left his girlfriend at that moment.
I
I don't
looked,
talk to.
I looked at my girlfriend. I said, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna go handle some business real quick." And she was like, "Okay, go ahead." We were waiting for we were waiting to go see a movie. I walk away, and I call him, and he answers, and I'm like, hey, he asked like a bunch of questions like what day, the basics, how long, this, that, and the other, and then he goes, "Well, I'm free on the 18th. Is that good?" I said, "Yes." Deej could have been the guest. I'd have been like, "Hey, Deej, sorry, something came up.
Next week.
My dog has the flu."
He ate
Sorry.
chocolate. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't. Jesus Christ could have been the guest. I'd have been like, "Hey, JC, sorry, buddy.
Oh my god.
Walk
Hey,
that
free around
way.
Easter.
Jesus walk that way. We'll get you next week.
This guy.
So, that's what happened. So we're gonna move on. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something, Biz?
No, go ahead.
I
No.
was about to say, let's move on from this god awful
Yeah.
guy.
We're gonna move on to the RNG topic. Duba, 3 times. You know what the deal is. What's your number?
Does it like have to be a different number each time?
You can run the same number if you want to, man.
Okay, 22.
Gotta run the 22s. Biz,
51.
51. Des.
88.
I was gonna say 83. I'm gonna go 13. It's a good number. 55.
Son of a bitch!
Damn it, Biz.
God damn it!
Sometimes RNG is a cruel mistress. You wanna defer to somebody?
Yeah, defer. God.
Who has one?
Like Revolution homework, I want to see like who can go back and see how many times Biz has won this.
Biz has won the most.
And seriously, yeah, I know he has won the most, but I want to see like some numbers on that stuff. Like, holy crap!
Fucking shit.
It's just random. I mean, I can do whatever. Doobie, you got one?
What was this topic again?
Anything you want.
RNG, whatever.
Random.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Talk about you.
Oh
Serious.
man.
Talk about your favorite TV shows. You can talk about your favorite foods. Biz is all pinky up about food. He'll talk about whatever. He'll talk food until his fucking face falls
Well,
off.
we do have Walking Dead coming back tomorrow, right? So there's that.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if you
there's-
guys are into that. This recent season I've been a little bit more on the fence, honestly. I'm starting to get worried. and I know a lot of people have been hating for a few seasons, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting. It's like what I have been keeping up with The Walking Dead. This season has been like really interesting, like from what I've heard. But sadly, my wife has slowly gotten out of The Walking Dead because she is being infested ever more and more by K-pop.
Okay.
Which I gotta say, now there's some.
Wait, Tom, please explain. I know what K-pop is, but you use the term infested. Like, is it just creeping into your daily life?
Oh, it's been creeping into my daily life.
Oh
Now, here's the thing. All right, when my wife was younger, she was definitely one of those that followed the boy bands. She was like really not. She was, I guess, in a happy place in the 90s, thanks to the pop bands and boy bands. Her number one favorite group, though, was the Spice Girls, obviously. But no, it's like this current iteration of K-pop, just it's kind of like taking her back to that, sort of.
Okay.
So she's just kind of like really latched onto a lot of these groups, and some of them are really interesting. Like, I guess in honor of Duba, our raptastic guest, they actually have some, for being a boy band glorified, there's like a favorite group, BTS. Their lead man calls himself Rapmon, short for Rap Monster. Let me tell you what, that man's flows. Oh my God. For flowing in Korean, he can actually transit to English very well, back to Korean. He is something else. He's just something else.
I've seen the previews for this upcoming. I think it's a half. Like, don't they do like a half season break?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All right. One, I'm gonna say Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the personification. I think he was born to play Negan, just like Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. Okay. Yeah. I know what happened. Whatever it is. I saw the zombie with like the thing on his face and spikes, and I was like, they're not evolving and using weapons, so obviously someone did that to a zombie or a walker, whatever you want to call them. They're zombies. I haven't really been into the show very much because, I mean, it's really, really nitpicky, but I know you can't run full speed and shoot somebody in the head with one hand accurately. So I also watch Game of Thrones, and I know there's no dragons. I'm gonna say that right now, but I've watched. Somebody's gonna say, if you watch Game of Thrones, do you believe there's dragons? That's usually what the people's reverse argument to that. You can't run full speed and just cap headshots, but I mean, it's a good show for what it is. It's a good like turn off your head. But my girlfriend, she said, and I quote, you could not watch the entire episode and just watch the last 10 minutes of one episode and the first 10 minutes of the next episode, and you'll know what happened in the whole 2 hours worth of time, which, is an argument. My obsession currently is Vikings. I fucking love that show. I fucking love it. And, well, Des, I saw you do like a epiphany movement. What was going on?
Oh no! Interesting, fun trivia. The actor or the people portraying Negan and oh my God, what's her name in The Walking Dead? Starts with an M.
Michonne?
No, not Michonne.
Maggie?
Herschel's daughter.
Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie. Mm-hmm.
Maggie. They were actually the two that played Bruce Wayne's parents.
Right. Yeah.
In Batman vs. Superman.
Dope.
So very interesting that the man that killed somebody, was is just very interesting and hilarious pairing if you actually are into those shows.
Yeah.
It's just very, very funny to see those two acting happy together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, I actually have caught up with my superhero movies and I just saw Doctor Strange.
Ooh, that's worth talking about. That was good, man.
We're gonna bring that after we talk about the weapon suggestions. We're gonna do I'm gonna ask you about what you think about Doctor Strange and if you agree with what I said. So, Duba, you brought up the topic. What do you think? Like, what are your current obsessions? Do you watch just everything? Do you watch just The Walking Dead, or are you like a Game of Thrones? Like, what's your
What am I watching right now?
Westworld?
I watched. Man, I've been meaning to check that out. I'm hearing good things. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
just finished it. It's good.
Okay. I watched Sherlock, the latest season. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't see
It's pretty solid.
That was also with Benedict Cumberbatch, who was Doctor Strange. Nice little tie-in.
Yep.
I saw what you did there.
Yep. That works. Shoot, I don't know. What else do I watch? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Those were the main things lately.
I mean, I am a huge fan of American Horror Story as well.
I was pretty obsessed with Person of Interest, but that finished, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that. That was a good show.
Has anybody seen the show Travelers or Traveler on Netflix? The going thing is now there's a scene going around. I guess the basic point is people in the future sent their consciousness back in time to stop something bad from happening, so they know everything that's going to happen. And they're going down the escalator, and they're at a racetrack for horses, and they're like, "Okay, I need you to put money on Touch of Malice, Down and Doubt, The Fourth Horseman, and No Backup Plan," or something like that. It was was deep Destiny cuts. Like, people were like throwing flags and pulling fucking strings, and balloons were coming out, and clowns were doing fucking cartwheels and shit. And I just think maybe they were like doing like a little shout out. That's what I think that was. But
oh yeah,
it was cool when I saw it, because I was like, yeah.
Were you just like watching it, or did you see like people were spreading the news?
I watched it before, and then I saw the news,
awesome.
and I was like, yeah,
that's awesome.
As soon as you say Touch of Malice, you're like, the show's called Traveler too. The Traveler. So you're like,
man. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Biz, what's your current show obsessions?
Well, it was Game of Thrones. I just finished watching Westworld. So none right now at the moment. Westworld. I'm not gonna say spoil it, but Westworld is a show that makes you think.
Fucking phenomenal.
And it's one of those shows that you can't, like, I tell my fiance, you have to watch everything. Like, don't you miss something. If you skip a part, you miss something. You'll miss a connection that is made down the road, because towards the end, there was a lot of things I was like, oh shit. And it was like, she was like, what? I don't get it. I was like, well, because X, Y, and Z, and da-da-da-da, and she's like, oh. I'm like, damn it, woman, you wasn't paying attention. Like,
the one that got me was The Door. You know, you'll know when I say The Door, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I was like, I was right. Fuck yeah! Smashing chairs over my head and going ballistic. And my girlfriend was like, I hate Westerns. And I'm like, it's not a Western. It's the robot. So,
oh, man. Dude,
yeah.
I can actually loop that back around just real quick. I said that I loved Person of Interest. The same dude that was the showrunner, co-creator for that, is also for Westworld as well. Jonah Nolan. That dude is a genius. And he, Person of Interest, the main themes were like surveillance and like the government. But then he also started getting into artificial intelligence to quite like an extent. So once he finished that show, he just went all in.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Also,
that dude's, he's a nerd.
Also, Samurai Jack is returning, which I'm stoked about. I saw that trailer and lost my mind. And I think I read on IGN that Netflix is doing a Castlevania series.
Whoa.
Oh, God, no.
Which that's the reaction I was hoping for, Des. Oh, God, no, is what I was hoping someone would do.
That's funny.
So far, as to date, still the best video game movie that has come out has been Mortal Kombat. It wasn't even a good video game movie.
It's a series.
My God, it fit Mortal Kombat.
It's a series, though. Yes, that's the thing you got to remember. It's a series. So.
I don't care. It's probably going to be garbage.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be House of the Dead.
Nobody in production can handle video game material.
That's true.
Look at how long we're having to deal with the Resident Evil movie series.
I
told my wife I might actually go and watch Resident Evil, this final chapter in theaters just to watch it die.
And then come back to life.
Over with.
And then come back to life for the T-cell.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh man, and they're filming that new Tomb Raider right now too. They just started.
Yeah,
oh
but
my God.
That's gonna be.
The Laura Croft actress is kind of phenomenal.
Yes, yes.
I'm not gonna say
I'm a
much.
fanboy. I'm a fanboy too, dude. So I mean, it might. We'll see. She's talented.
I saw you do the thing, and I was like, Knuckles
Yep.
for that one, buddy. I saw so now I reached out. There's some questions for Duba, and I guess for us as well. We're just going to answer anyway.
All right.
This one's from Crave to Control. What's the one thing you feel Destiny 2 must have that this Destiny does not have? And dedicated servers is a given.
Man, I don't want to. Okay, I mean, for me personally, they're already promising it, right? But that cinematic storytelling, memorable characters aspect, like that's all I want, man. Because that's where Destiny 1, I think, failed probably in the biggest way. So, man, like that's what I'm looking for, dude. I want something that draws me in. I want more regular content to keep drawing me back into the story and keeping me enveloped in it. I don't want to just play it for the multiplayer, which I enjoy. I love the multiplayer. I love the Crucible, but I want them to keep me engaged in that story way better than they did in Destiny 1.
Biz, what do you guys want?
I don't know. I at this point, I'll take anything.
Des, what do you want? What do you want to see?
Well, getting back into my former addiction, sadly. Like anyone on my friends list will notice, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV recently.
You have.
What I really want for Destiny, and is one of the rumors that they have, but what I really want for the sequel is an actual living world. Like, the world right now is very disjointed. I mean, to be fair, it's multiple worlds, so I mean, I'm not going to go, that off the deep end.
Right.
But I want bigger areas. I want areas that you actually go into. I want there to be things populating the world other than enemies and our characters. I want there to be I want the world to feel alive rather than just basically like a Truman Show and everything's set up for us to shoot at it, which it is, but that's not how I want it to feel like.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
I want deeper customization options. I want to be able to, as
show
per
my armor all day.
As per my addiction of being pretty, of like having a pretty Titan. That's just what I want.
Don't you want more patrols?
Out there's going to be tons. If there's going to be living separate little towns and stuff, there's going to be tons of patrols. I'm good. This one comes from the co-founder. Co-founder has a few. I'm just going to go in order of what showed up on the Discord. What's the hardest part of putting your videos together?
Okay. That's a good question. Like I would generally say the filming, but this time, well, man, I don't know. There's a lot of aspects, but I would generally think filming because it's so time consuming. But this time around, I was bringing in different people each weekend, so it was kind of just a cool experience getting to hang out with different people, getting to know people, and doing something together. Whereas before, I kind of just like I had my wife help me, and we spent like 10 or 12 hours like filming in a weekend, and like that's cool, but at the same time, it's kind of torture. Like,
oh yeah,
day, night, tonight. What are we doing?
Private matches.
You
like
want to hang out, babe?
Like she's happy she helped me and then it took off like the first one, but this time she was like, yeah, so I don't know if I want to help you the whole time. Like, so I kind of just was like, okay, I put her in one part and then just kind of let her be. and just reached out to more people. And I think in the end that was a better experience for everyone, actually. So, and then it's something that everybody else is going to keep with them and remember that was involved in it too. So having all those different people take part in it, man. But yeah, the writing of the songs isn't always the smoothest either. Like sometimes that's pretty time consuming too, because you got to really be thoughtful and figure out what works, especially with this one. But,
like you said earlier, how many times can you rhyme something with Ahamkara?
Yeah. How many times do you say Ahamkara until it just becomes really awkward and weird? Like, why does he keep saying that? Like,
damn it, Bungie!
Okay, this one's from Biphomatic. What rapper, dead or alive, would you want to kick it with?
Whoa. Oh boy.
He said rapper.
Oh. Shots fired.
Damn!
Oh man.
You can't say
He's
his
a
first two
musical
albums
genius.
weren't. You can't say his first two albums weren't great though.
I'll just keep shut about how I feel about him now.
Oh, that's given.
Man, I don't know, dude. Like, there's to pick just one. That's crazy. Oof. I might have to come back to you on that one. I don't know.
Ow.
Dude.
Okay,
Like, I have to think about it, man.
okay. What's top 5 rappers in Duba's world
In my world.
In your world, like top 5.
to you? Because we're all different.
That makes it much easier.
That's true. Man, I've been listening to. He's kind of obscure. This dude's name is Andy Cooper of the duo, or not duo. It's a trio, 2 rappers and a DJ. Ugly Duckling, and I think that dude's pretty brilliant. So I would probably want to kick it with him. He's super chill too. Trying to think who else. Man, Charlie 2NA, dude. That dude's voice is just smooth as butter. Like it'd be cool to kind of chop it up and kind of, figure out how his mind works and how he does what he does. That'd be pretty cool too. I don't know. I listen to a lot of stuff, dude. like crazy. Well, those are a couple. I think we can go with that maybe for now.
I would say for me, alive would be Tone Deaf. And anybody who can spit at 193 syllables a minute or whatever he did, that remarkably fast song.
I'll throw him in the list too. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And then,
that dude's a genius. Like musically too, like he produces so much too, and it's so varied in style and everything. Like, man, yeah, that dude's an artistic genius for sure.
Another one from Co-Founder. What's your favorite music outside of hip hop?
Classic.
Okay. Man. Oh boy. Like, it's hard to pick one. Is it cool if I say like a couple or like?
Do whatever, man. It's fine.
I'm taking these questions way too seriously. Dude, I honestly enjoy ska a lot. I like ska and I like metal, and sometimes I listen to some electronica.
Okay.
I'm eclectic.
There you go.
Have you listened to
Some
trap?
punk too. Trap, like
I knew he was going to say this. This blew my mind when Des said he likes trap music. I was like, can you just picture that? That's like
the electronica genre, right? Not so much the hip hop kind of rip off spin off.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm saying like the newest the newest dance genre.
I probably do need to listen to more of it. I've heard a little.
It's very interesting. It's very like trap is what I've listened to is very reminiscent to some of the like slower house style that I like in electronica, like a little more flowy, but it's still mixed fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like the other side of dubstep to a degree, where dubstep usually hypes up a little more energy. Trap is a little flowy.
Right.
But of course, then again, it's almost impossible to actually describe verbally electronica genres.
What is it?
Dude,
it's a lot of noise, a lot of energy.
I do have to say, the dude that did the music for the Exotic Armor rap, he's a legendary electronica artist that I've been listening to for like 9 years. So I was pretty hyped. I was really hyped to work with him. So his name's Delta S, so I got to name drop that. He's really good, and he does a variety of electronic styles too. He's a pretty cool artist.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like when Raven said trap the first time, I thought in my head like hip hop trap music, and then he was like, no, like electronica trap, and I'm like, oh, it's not as funny anymore to me, to be honest. Like to me, my favorite, I love soul music, like Bill Withers and Al Green are my two favorite artists. Like I want to get an Al Green portrait on my foot tattooed. Like that's how much I love Al Green.
Wow,
nice.
That's a lot.
No, I love Al Green. I do. And I mean, Atreyu and 21 Pilots are my current. I mean, Atreyu always, but 21 Pilots just kind of like crept in because my girlfriend listens to him all the time. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And she's like, oh, it's just two dudes. I'm like, two dudes are doing this? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, this is fucking good. And I think I was in one of your streams and I dropped a request for it, and you were like, yeah, man, all right, I dig it.
Yeah, man. Like those are one of the first groups that really just blew up in a mainstream way that I'm like, okay, those guys actually deserve it. I'm proud of these guys. That's dope.
Biz, what's a music style that people wouldn't expect you to like? Like you personally. Like what's your hidden musical styling love?
I do like some dubstep. And some classical jazz, not Kenny G. I'm talking about Coltrane. I'm talking about Miles Davis. I'm talking about Duke Ellington, the big band era. Because I'm actually a musician. I just don't tell people. I play sax.
Isn't that on your Twitter?
Yeah, it's on his Twitter. It's like the second.
Yeah, but nobody takes that serious. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. No, like, everybody knows me to be a food elitist, not a sax player.
Nancy, that's what I laugh over. Like most people probably laugh over the sax, but it's like, Pootie.
No, it's like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, yeah, I do like some dubstep. I wish I could get into more. There's like a couple of songs I particularly like. One of them escapes me, but dubstep is pretty cool when it's not like
mainstream,
deafening in my ears. Right. Well,
yeah.
There's one that's mainstream that I really like, "The Quick and the Dead." Actually, but I liked that song for a while because I saw a couple of guys dance to it on YouTube, and I was like, "Yo, that shit is dope!" Like, download that song. I don't know,
like one group that is spectacular, but I don't know if they're considered dubstep or even what they're considered. Is a trio of DJs, I think from France, called Birdie Nam Nam. Birdie Nam Nam. They have been known. They have a song called I think it's in French, but it's like violins. Violins. Mm-hmm. It's violins, I think, in French. But what they do is, like I said, they're a trio of DJs. Or maybe four of them. But either way, they each have a singular record. And they still have physical scratching, but they each have a different instrument, basically, a different noise that they work with. And they work with each other. One person starts it, he starts to lay down a basic thing. The next dude comes in, works off him. The next dude comes in, basically drops a bass line to work off of them. Then the last dude comes in, and they're basically, the way they DJ, they are a band. And Birdie Nam Nam is just amazing the way they do that. So yeah, that's a group to check out.
Okay.
Brother Elijah, he puts, what's next now that you've done the exotic armor and weapons? A Vanguard rap? With a verse dedicated to Ikora, Caden Zavala, Artifacts, where you rap about the Iron Lords, and I suggested the other day where you do, like maybe get a little dark and nasty with it, where you do Aurochs turning, like his descent into Oryx.
Man, those are actually not bad ideas. I'm gonna have to kind of kick those around, but yeah, right now I'm honestly just bouncing around ideas. I haven't like totally narrowed in on one yet, but yeah. Yeah, so and then also I don't want to like give away too many because I'm gonna say one and then I'm not gonna do it and everyone's gonna be mad at me. So, but I like your idea too, man. Like something really dramatic and intense. That'd be pretty sick, dude. Like lore based and really, I don't know. That'd be kind of sick. Like getting into character and all that.
You get the headspace, read the books of sorrow over and over again.
I'm gonna have to like make my voice all feminine so I sound like, before when he was a woman. I'm just playing. I don't know.
Co-founder asked, I know this is a joke, but I had to ask it. Is it pronounced Meta, or Meta? All three.
Yeah.
And Hatchy Dave, I think you might have answered this question, but just for future reference, do you make your own beats? If so, what software do you use? Also, do you use any hardware like controllers or producer keyboards to make your beats?
Okay. I haven't really made too many beats that I've used with the Destiny stuff so far. I used to make beats, and I currently have Logic. I actually got that like a month ago because I've been kind of getting that urge to kind of experiment and mess around again. So I am using Logic now. Whether I produce some of my own beats for the projects in the future, we'll see. Using Logic, I have been actually honestly just using my Yeti mic, and the results have been pretty good. So I might just stick with that for that. And then as far as like any other hardware, I actually sometimes just use the iPad because Logic syncs up with like an iPad app where I can kind of just do stuff on there. Yeah. So that's kind of what I work with right now.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for Dube?
No, not that we didn't ask him now or before then.
Okay. Move on to the.
Well, actually, no. I do have one question.
Damn it, Biz.
Yeah, I do have one question. And feel free to lie to me. Were you just happy with honorable mention, or were you trying to go Scott before? Feel free to lie to me.
Man, I think I was, honestly, I was expecting hopefully a movie of the week, but at the same time, the last one got snubbed so hard that I didn't want to get my hopes up in any way. I was just like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. So that kind of helped when it was just honorable mention. It's like, okay, at least it got in there, but it would have been dope.
Sorry, one last question. This is for everybody. No, I just got a message from Subcult619 said, besides swords, what other melee weapons do you wish your guardian could wield, i.e. a scythe or a riot shield?
Oof.
Yes. Yes. Riot shield, spear, whatever you want to do. I'm cool with. Just give me a shield. Let me bash.
You know what I want? I want that scorpion. I want the scorpion. Get over here! Grapple.
Oh man!
I want to grapple.
There was that concept art that someone did of the Dark Guardians or the corrupted subclasses for Guardians, and for the Solar Titan, that's what they had planned for the melee. Was basically Scorpion Spear move.
Damn it!
Nice.
Yeah, they even had it. Dude, this person did this concept. It was like a legitimate it was like graphically done. It was had illustrations proving. It was a concept.
Is that the one with the Warlock subclass was like a Reaper, like had the scythe?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember anymore, but I saw it, and it was like just an entire gallery, like on Imager or something, that they just, it's like, this is just something I did for fun. Check it out. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
What?
That's good stuff.
Okay. Sorry about that. I just got the message was from Subcult, like, hey, did you get my question? So I just had to throw it in there.
I
Nice.
don't think they can really, with the variety that they've done the swords with, I don't think they could actually do anything that feels different, though.
No, it would just feel like the sword with a different skin. Really.
Which I wouldn't also be entirely opposed to either.
Could you just imagine jousting on Sparrows, just a lance, just using a spear, just running into each other?
Give me that Death Scythe Help custom scythe.
Right.
Okay.
The real weeps are going to get that one.
For the post-patch after Tuesday, I'm going to ask you guys for your weapon suggestions. Do you guys have any Obviously the palindrome, whatever. But I'm thinking like deep
Oh,
cuts, like
right.
off the not that you're gonna see, like a little like for me, I'm guessing maybe the Grim Citizen will see a little love from the auto rifles, depending on the role. The Extremophile I-11 might see some love.
Nope. Still gonna be the same. PDX 45s, Hawk Sauce, Palindrome, Yas Lunas. Yeah, I think that's what the same.
Snipers are still going to be out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not changing the times to kills drastically enough to actually see an entire meta shift, especially in primaries.
I agree.
Things are going to stay the same. Maybe somebody will see a caveat somewhere and start using something a month or two down the road. But initially, first week, people are going to pull out the Genesis chains. They're going to pull out the Shadow Prices and see how they work. But things are going to resettle back into a pulse. Whatever you have that's good, hang on to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to try the first curse again. See how that initial accuracy change affects it.
Oh, I'm going to play around with a lot of hand cannons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, listen, I'm busting out every
because
auto
I'm going to
I
have because I'm going to have to see.
Hey, that too.
Especially, I'm going to have to see how well they can. That and just see how, because I'm going to my first few matches. I'm going to take my palindrome. I'm going to drop into Crucible, and I'm just going to spam shots. I'm not going to pace at all. I'm just going to spam and see how well that works, because theoretically, it should be more successful now with these changes. We'll find out, or I'll find out very quick, because like I said, I'm going to treat it basically like the last word. I'm just going to squeeze, and see how quick people go down, and how easily the shots register.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, I'm interested to see what the I like to call them. I think you'd be surprised guns will be, like the guns that are going to creep in, and some people are going to use them. Like, oh shit, this is a gun, and then hopefully it's one that I've been talking about, so I can be like, I fucking told you, fuckers, I told you. So,
without the full notes, it's going to be impossible to tell.
Exactly. I hope somebody's like, man, the Continental's really good. I'll just be like. So,
you want to get an auto rifle, a good 88 auto rifle, and you just happen to be good at trials. Vision Stone is amazing. I don't know why that thing hasn't gotten more love, though, to be honest. It's like a really good auto for what it is. Yeah, let me caveat that with for what it is.
For what it is, yeah. I might have to beg Dark to just take me to 7 wins, and hopefully I can get it. Hopefully.
That's why every time. Okay, so I've actually been able, like I said, I did go flawless the one time on my own power. Yay. And I was able to get Dark to carry me once. Every 7th, or both of those 7th wins were special weapons.
Wait, does the Vision Stone drop just from the chest, or does it drop from 7 wins?
Probably 7 wins, because there is a normal version of it. So I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Like I said, I've gotten the fusion rifle and I've gotten the sniper rifle.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
And I forgot to say that sniper rifle.
It's pretty good.
It's actually very smooth.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
It feels good.
I like it.
Or you just break
it. I don't like to cave into the hype immediately, but that sniper rifle is butter, basically.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now that since you mentioned you finally saw Doctor Strange, and the I believe the spoiler alert time frame has ended.
For the most part, but we'll still definitely say spoilers.
Spoiler. Fast forward a couple minutes. What did you think?
I'm not going to go as far as saying it was the best ever. Because basically it felt very much like the Guardians of the Galaxy formula, which wasn't bad, and it did focus on the music as much as Guardians of the Galaxy did. But like I said, it wasn't a bad formula. They did a great thing, and it was an amazing thing. I mean, it is definitely within the top for the movies. It was fantastic because they delved into Doctor Strange lore. They got things right in that movie because Doctor Strange is one of those heroes that not a lot of people know about. It's kind of like Blade. When Blade came out, nobody knew who Blade was. Blade was that angry guy that hunted vampires that used to come in the Spider-Man cartoons. That's all Blade was before Wesley Snipes. And now all Blade is Wesley Snipes.
That's so true.
Because Wesley Snipes made him a character that could be remembered. And I definitely feel, they've done that with Doctor Strange with this, and I'm glad that it's been successful because it's definitely far into like the realm of. They actually made, like in the first Thor movie, they wanted to step away from the thoughts of magical because they wanted this to be a technologically based universe in the Marvel universe. But so for them to introduce Doctor Strange was just pretty much they're caving that in all together. Because Doctor Strange is nothing but magic, like pure. You astral plane, mirror realms, dark zones,
spirit fingers.
Oh my god, man!
Sling rings.
And the motions and the geometrical shapes that are also tied into like alchemical arts and crap, and it's just like, wow! They like went in detail with that crap, and I did love the part in the movie where he complains about his hands and they wouldn't be able to get the motions right. And the dude without a freaking hand does the motions. And it's like,
when the Ancient One calls the Master over and she's like, this guy, like him, he doesn't have hands and he just...
It's like, so what's your excuse now, buddy?
Don't be a bitch.
When he gave the card to Doctor Strange and it said Shambhala, and he was like, "What's this? My mom?" She's like, "It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not humans." It just walks out, like so perfect. There's so many good jokes, like the Beyonce joke.
Oh god, that was great.
But
the fact that the next scene is listening to Beyonce.
My favorite part is the combat, though. How like the spell combat goes.
That was amazing.
They did it in a way that thankfully didn't feel like Harry Potter.
It's totally different.
So that was a good thing. Harry Potter, actually, for the movies, they did a very great thing for the combat, the way it worked. Almost looked like freaking Star Wars. But, it was a very different feeling. Even from, like, some of the Doctor Strange animated movies, they set themselves aside. And they just did a really good job. And, like I said, I'm glad that it did well, because there are multiple interviews that said if Doctor Strange were to be a successful movie, they would be open to the ideas of bringing Blade back and going even deeper into that magical side of Marvel and bringing those people back.
Also,
hello, Wesley Snipes.
Also, Justice League Dark as well.
Yeah.
A little side note. Obviously, this is the RngCast. If you want to see interesting magic concept, watch the show on Sci-Fi, The Magicians. Because their magic is it's really intricate hand motions. It's actually the dance style tutting, and what it is I guess they got people the actors, they taught them how to tut, and they all have their own way of doing it. It's a really interesting show. It's also really graphic and violent, so don't let your kids see it.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. And it's just really awesome. I love the folding of time, and the matter folds in, and people are like running down buildings, and they hop on the ground, and they just walk like into the streets, and everybody's like, "Where'd that guy come from? Why is he in a weird coat?" It's just I love that movie, but I also love Guardians, so it makes sense why I would love Doctor Strange so much.
Yeah, and I'm actually like, after watching it, because I followed Doctor Strange for a while, because again, I wanted Doctor Strange to be successful because of the promise that Marvel made and has like reiterated several times. But because Marvel has the rights to Blade again, and they have like all these magical side rights again. But sadly, like I've said before, the top of the list for Doctor Strange was Hugh Laurie, who played House. But after watching the movie, I now agree with them that Doctor Strange is a little, at least with the way they wrote him in this iteration, is a little bit too much like House. It's like that's I would have seen that if they would have used Hugh Laurie. Like I was just been constantly reminded because I'm sorry when you're operating on someone and you're basically playing like this musical quiz show. It's like, oh my god, that is such a house move. Like, yep, okay. I'm glad they didn't use Hugh Laurie because that would have just been there.
Yep.
All right, Des, let me ask: if they did reboot Blade, who would play Blade?
I honestly don't know who could stand up to Wesley Snipes. I'm going to be honest because Wesley Snipes did an amazing job. Because the same formula that worked for, I was just either last night or the night before, I was just talking to my wife about this. The same formula that worked for the Guardians of the Galaxy and that worked for Doctor Strange, that's what Blade did in the first movie. It was action, it was some slapstick and some very funny stuff, but it was the same formula. And it's amazing that it's still working because, like I said, it made Blade a thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's the not so popular things that they're trying this with, and it's working so well. Because again, Blade was a barely popular character. Guardians of the Galaxy, they were just starting it back up from an original comic book run. I didn't even remember Guardians of the Galaxy in the first place. But and now Doctor Strange, again, he's actually had a lot of like animated movies, but Doctor Strange isn't, the Sorcerer Supreme isn't one that a lot of people know about unless they played Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Which amazingly, he actually got a slot in that. But yeah, like I said, I just don't know who could stand up to Wesley Snipes as I mean, that's a lot. That's a big shoe to fill in because that's a man that actually knows martial arts too.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan.
I knew he was going to say that. I just knew it. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but he didn't even stand up that well in the Fantastic Four reboot. Which was
Michael Jai White.
No.
Why? He's a martial artist.
He is.
I would have thrown Idris Elba in there.
He was a good Spawn though. Michael Jai White was a good Spawn. Then he played a great Jax in that Mortal Kombat Legacy web series. He did Jax really good.
But Idris Elba though, I mean, I would say Bond for Idris Elba. I'd be so down with that.
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan might not be a bad choice, but
it's the easy choice.
That Fantastic Four movie was just garbage. It was okay. All right,
that bummed me out so hard.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, but at the same time, it was a good movie until like the last 30 minutes, and the plot pretty much ultimately went down to Care Bear stare. Through the power of friendship, we are going to take down the most powerful man in the universe right now. No, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense.
Dude, and they cut out like half of the action. That's why it was such a weird like pacing thing. Like when it came down to the end, it just was like this 15 minute action scene and that was it. Because they literally chopped, I think, like 20-30 minutes of the action out of the film. Because they wanted to switch the way it was,
That and they wrote themselves in the corner. They made Doom a god in the first movie, so it's like, and then you're just going to outright kill him, and it's like, you don't kill Doom. Little known fact, but Doom in the Marvel Universe has the longest rap sheet out of any Marvel villain.
Man.
He has killed more superheroes and regular people. He has went back in time and ruled the world.
He ruled
and came back to the present because he was bored.
Yeah, they definitely
like
nerfed
the most
his power.
prolific. Yeah, he was like the most prolific villain in Marvel history. And they killed him, and it's like,
I mean,
yeah.
Here's a throw, real quick throw. You know how they flipped their new thing now is flipping genders, is gender bending. Like Thor is now a female. Not Captain America. Iron Man is now a young woman who is mentored by Tony Stark. How would you feel if the actress who plays Michonne played Blade?
That'd be fair. I mean, she's technically already is.
And I'm about to say.
I mean, basically,
she knows how to use a sword already. Half the step is there.
I mean, she's slaying undead entities with a katana. She might as well be Blade. I would not be opposed to this. I would not be opposed to that. With that actress,
yeah, she's a really good actress.
She is. I mean, she's great. I love the fact that, like also maybe some Walking Dead spoiler, who knows? But when they actually went back into the past and showed her before and what she acted like before the outbreak and everything a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to go from that normal like lifestyle, but you already know her as this katana wielding, zombie slashing. Just it's like, how can you be like a normal soccer mom and then become this?
Did you find Bill from Kill Bill? Like the first time he showed up, Hattori Hanzo, now Michonne. I don't understand how that works.
All right.
All right. Since Biz, you mentioned that you have a hard out right now, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, that I guess that will bring. By the way, this is the 39th episode of the RNG Cast.
All right.
To a close. Duba, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being on, man. Like I always say, you're more than welcome to just message me, say, hey, man, can I come on and talk for a minute? For sure, always. Why don't you give everybody where they can find you? The Twitter.
Okay, sure.
Whatever's.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. It has been a blast. It always is. It's a lot of fun hanging with you guys and chatting it up. Make sure you go to dubaplaysgames.com. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/dubaplaysgames, and obviously youtube.com/dubaplaysgames, and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So make sure you hit me up and follow the content, and I will try to create some more awesomeness to send your way.
Go ahead, Biz.
Well, it's main man. You can find me on Twitter at businessman_DRP. Twitch, twitch.tv/businessman24. And the businessman24 on PlayStation. Hit me up.
This is your boy Raven. You can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven, at twitch.tv/thecorvusnest. And you can search me on YouTube at DeathSwitchRaven.
And I'm Buster Knuckle. You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. On Twitch at twitch.tv/Buster_Knuckle. Got it right this time. And on YouTube at Buster Knuckle. I'll probably be streaming today sometime, just, my normal grind, maybe some PvP, maybe some Warframe, No Man's Sky, whatever. You never know what you're going to get from me. You can find this podcast, obviously you're watching on Twitch, at twitch.tv/the RngCast. And you can find us on Twitter at the RngCast, Instagram at the RngCast. You can email us at therngcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube at the RNG Podcast. I believe it is
RngCast Podcast.
RngCast Podcast. And Biz has been putting up the podcast on in the visual media, so that's awesome. Also, don't forget to check out the Destiny Tracker Podcast Network, which has the Destiny Tracker Podcast with Jay. Shouts to Jay. Happy birthday, buddy. The Rabbit Hole Radio, which is a lore theory.
Lore speculation.
Yeah. I think they're on episode 2. It's really good. I like it because I speculate on lore a lot with Raven, as Raven knows. The Destiny Down Under podcast, check out Mylan. And I think, Duba, you were on their podcast last night, if I'm correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And don't forget the Destiny Lorecast with Anon and Purple Chimera, and I think sometimes Handsome Dragon, and a bunch of other people. And Destiny Massive Breakdowns with Mercules and Cougar and Kit Kutcha. And just check everybody out. Like them, favorite, subscribe, give them a listen. Come back to the RNG Cast. We're also in it. And that brings this episode to a close. Holy shit, that plug was intense. And this is the RNG Cast. We're out.
Later, man.
Peace.
See you all next week.
Yeah.